Finish the coffee before we get started this morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this fine Saturday morning. Here's a question for you this morning. Why exactly are Celtic playing on Sunday? You would think that, I know it's for the TV, and I know that the TV takes precedent over everything else in Scottish football, and the fans take second. Yeah. But when you look at the fixtures that are this weekend, you have Dundee versus Aberdeen. Let's get it up on the screen. You have Dundee versus Aberdeen. Traditional 3 o'clock kickoff today. You have St Mirren versus St Johnstone. Typical 3 o'clock kickoff. And then you've got Kilmarnock versus Celtic, a 1:30 kickoff, or a 12:30 kickoff, maybe a 1:30 kickoff on Sunday. Considering that there were other clubs that played before us the week before, maybe just looking too much into it. And then tomorrow you've got Hearts versus Dundee United, Motherwell versus Falkirk, and Rangers versus Hibernian. Now I know that those teams were in Europe this week, but Celtic were not in Europe. Obviously Sky wanted the Celtic game on the television, and that is the main reason for Celtic playing on Sunday, 1:30, Kilmarnock. Just hope that all in fact, there are no buses. There are no buses coming over from Ireland for this game because Rangers are at home. Celtic need to have a word. Celtic really need a big word with themselves. They're not putting fans first. The first 2 weeks of the season, buses missed the ferries going back to Ireland. And you may say, oh, well, it's just buses back to Ireland. I don't think people take into consideration how many buses actually come over from Ireland every week. From all over Ireland. And this week, there are no buses because Rangers are playing at home. So all their fans are on the ferries. And the ferries are still not allowed to mix in 2026. It's madness, isn't it? You think everything's fine and dandy. And in reality, Celtic are getting just bullied by the SPFL and Sky and the police. It's as simple as that. Anyway, that's my Saturday morning rant over. Good morning to everyone who are in the comments this morning. Why does it take so long to get the Hassan deal? Stephen's in a moaning mood already. We're only 3 minutes into the show and Stephen's just... I did say that it wasn't going to happen this weekend. I didn't think it would happen this weekend. I think that when the player was left out, his team for a friendly today suggests to me that he will be travelling over the weekend. We know why, Stephen. I don't know why you ask, why does it take so long for this Hassan deal to get done? Why does it... We know why it takes so long for any deal to get done at Celtic. We know the reason, and it's Michael Nicholson. Anyway, I was up doing the tour yesterday with my wee boy, and the shop was bouncing. So the not another penny isn't working that well. Oof. Says Kieran. Is the Holic says, thanks Stephen, makes a change for me. Is the Not Another Penny campaign still a thing? Or was that a last season thing? This is going down a road that I never expected this morning. Is the anti-board sentiment there this season? Considering we brought in Martin O'Neill, the board... I'm going to play devil's advocate this morning. The board spoke to some fans groups during the summer, and they're a bit lackadaisical, as always, when it comes to transfers. But the Celtic Fans Collective, the group that was behind the Not Another Penny campaign, I mean, they've been quite quiet over the case of the summer. So you would think if a campaign group we're going to keep pushing when it comes to change at the club. Just 2 seconds till I find their. I mean, the last thing that the Celtic Fans Collective put out was on the 19th of. Well, they did put something out on the fan engagement update. They've put nothing out in August since the start of this season. So I don't know, and I'm kind of just taking a back seat from it all because, there you can go fan engagement update the 31st of the 7th. Congratulations, John Paul Taylor, GP, on his fantastic Celtic promotion. That's all you can call it, wasn't it? JP's a lovely guy. He's a great guy. And however, the newly announced Celtic Connect initiative falls short. So there was basically just, and then they went on to retweet on the 31st, and then that was it. So if you're a fan that's going to games, there's no prominent group pushing for the Not Another Penny campaign. So to me, I think that it from the outside looking in, I've lost the comment where it said it was up at the shop. Oh, there we go. I was up doing the tour yesterday with my wee boy, and the shop was bouncing. So the Not Another Penny campaign isn't working that well. Like I said, if the groups involved, and this goes for every single group out there, I did say that if you want to take the lead over the course of the summer, and you want to get the initiative. Now, Willie Hockey and his team, they pushed out Paul McStay, and they visited Celtic supporters groups right at the end of the season, first sort of 2 weeks into the summer season, and then they went quiet. And then you're thinking to yourself, okay, what is the Willie Hockey agenda really? He's got the money to really push to promote this thing, to get the 50,000. If Willie Hockey were really, really, really wanting to get 50,000 Celtic fans to sign up to his promotion, to sign up to get, he could put in 10 grand easily to an advertising campaign that would specifically target season ticket holders and Celtic supporters online. Willie Hockey could do an online campaign which could easily target everyone that stays in Scotland, England and Ireland that supports Celtic, because that's the majority of where season ticket holders will come from. And you do an advertising campaign and promoting 10 grand. Well, you could spend that in about 2 weeks easily, with a consensus of, sign up to this. It's not going to cost you anything, but he's decided to go down the radio route of the channel that he owns. And I'm just saying, as a businessman, if you really want to achieve something quick and you want to take the lead, he's the one that has probably let me down this summer. Because I thought, if you really want to make change, if you really want to get 50,000 Celtic supporters signed up, you make a concerted effort to push it. He has the money. If he's got 10 million to buy in shares, he's got 10 grand to pump into online advertising, to all the online platforms. When you look at how many Celtic supporters look at the Facebook page, YouTube channel, you could do an ad campaign easily. But he hasn't. And then when it comes to the Celtic Fans Collective, they've been pretty quiet over the course of the summer as well. I think the only one that's really been active is the Celtic Supporters Limited. Let's see if we could find them. Oh, the Season Ticket Alliance Trust put out another video. It's an old video. It's not a new video. It's a video from, they're just regurgitating. So right now, membership of the Season Ticket Alliance Trust is only open to season ticket holders. Looking ahead, the ambition is for the trust to become open to the wider Celtic support, including fans around the world. Right, that then goes back to the advertising campaign that I would do if I had the money that Willie Hockey had. Never mind doing free. Not everybody's on Twitter, and they seem to be prominent on Twitter. They seem to think that the majority of Celtic fans, I don't know, I think that there is a lot of the Celtic fans that go to games that are on Twitter. I think the ones that aren't on Twitter are more than likely fans that don't really go to games, because Twitter is just it's a shit show of a platform, let's be honest. And it's called X now, but I'm still calling it Twitter. And the last thing that they're just regurgitating the same video. Now see what I mean? I've been in marketing for 25 years, and I know a thing or two about getting attraction, as it says, as they say, and they are just regurgitating the same video, which is quite disappointing. And then they're using AI, they're using ChatGPT for their graphics. You know what I mean? So there's not a lot of effort going into this, which is disappointing, because if you want an organisation to be the prominent one, you've got all these organisations that are pushing and vying for the attention of the Celtic fan base, regurgitating the same kind of stuff, regurgitating videos. It's the same video every time, the exact same video, and it's a bit of a letdown. I'll say that. Don't know. It's and I can say that because since 2010, I've built my own websites and I've done my own marketing to build up businesses back home in the UK, and even done it coming over here to Spain. I know what works and I know what doesn't work, and I know what's lazy. And I think that the Season Ticket Alliance Trust are being lazy. And the fact is, even on Twitter, they only have 923 followers. 923 followers from 54,000 season ticket holders. You can do an advertising campaign that targets 500,000 people easily across the platforms where the people are, and I think that they're doing it way wrong. But anyway, we move on from that, because I think that I was actually looking for the Celtic Supporters Limited. And at least they are active. 6th of August. There seems to be a lot more activity on but not much. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm letting them get on with it. I'm just concentrating on YouTube this season and the fantastic fans that watch this channel, and obviously Celtic, because that's what we're here for. I was never into the idea in the first place. Yes, I was. The Willie Hockey one. I was one of the first ones to really push the Willie Hockey one, and I thought he could be the answer. I thought that the Willie Hockey one, pumping in 10 million, he could have been the answer if he acted quick. You can tell if someone's really, really... If you want to make a change, and this is one thing that I am confident about talking about, and it is gaining attraction online, or gaining leads online, and getting people to sign up for stuff, and getting eyes on your business. I've had a career of being able to do that. I've had a career of doing it, and I've been damn good at it over the years. I think that the Willie Hockey thing is lazy, and I think that it's a poor effort. If he wanted 50,000, he could have signed up 50,000 season ticket holders easily this summer, easily. Anyway, we move on from that because it has all went quiet on the Celtic transfer front. Celtic fans were hoping that there was going to be stuff done this weekend, but with Martin O'Neill being in hospital, it looks like that absolutely nothing is going to happen at all. Sean Maloney said that Martin O'Neill does have the final say in any transfer activity, but with Martin O'Neill being out of office since Tuesday afternoon, I wonder if he even had the meeting with Michael Nicholson, or if it was Michael Nicholson that went, mate, you're not looking too healthy, I think you need to go to hospital. And that was when, so we don't even know if that meeting happened to see if we're going to speed up anything in the transfer activity. It's disappointing because when you look at the games coming up for Celtic, obviously we are 1 day, 4 hours and 14 minutes away from the game this weekend at Kilmarnock. We then go to Tannadice next Saturday, and then before then we have to put in our team for the Champions League game. Now the players, if any new players come in next week, they will have the best part of 10 days to train with the players, but it's not ideal. And I think that's what's frustrating a lot of the Celtic fans. This is exactly the reason that people like the Celtic Fans Collective and Willie Hockey's team should be pushing at this moment. To put pressure on the board. Here's a thing. You know that there's been information leaked. Leaked to media over the course of the summer, and some of it's been correct, some of it's been wrong, some of it's been just nonsense. But doesn't it seem a bit odd that wasn't me that said this, that Martin O'Neill could be the leak at Celtic? It all went quiet this week. Martin O'Neill's not in the office. Maybe Martin gets on the dog and bone to his favourite journals. Anyway, it's all just pure speculation. A Buna omelette. I've not had breakfast yet, so a Buna omelette. How on earth do you make a Buna omelette? Martin should not come back. Should Martin O'Neill come back, and should we be scared? Let's get on to the whole prospect of and what the video was about. Will, I seen an interesting comment on social media. What if Martin O'Neill decides, just in a couple of weeks' time, just as it's coming up to the end of the transfer window, Martin O'Neill decides, look, this isn't worth it for my health. It's not really worth it. I maybe not be able to carry on the full season. I'm maybe just going to get out now. Is that too late for Celtic to bring in another manager? Is it been manufactured to have Sean Maloney and Fozzie as the management team going forward for this season? I damn well hope not. And leftover Buna and fry and eggs. Fry. Jesus. Gotta love the Scottish diet, don't you? We don't need a goalkeeper. Anyway, should we be worried about the season going ahead? Martin O'Neill obviously having a little bit of a health issue. Only one game into the season. It's going to be a long season. We've got a busy period coming up of football between now and the end of January. It is just consistent. It's weekend, week, midweek, weekend, consistently from now. Can Martin O'Neill really, really be in a fit state to go on over that? I mean, even when you look at October, even with the international break, I mean, we'll look at what's coming up, and you've got to remember that we've got cup games to still schedule into this, and we also have 1 day, 4 hours and 10 minutes away from the next game. This is how August looks. Not much time to do anything. Before the transfer window, you would hope to get quite a lot done, but it's time is clock is ticking down. Aberdeen, away to Aberdeen, which is interesting because the last day of the transfer window, Martin O'Neill will have got home at around about 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. He's then going to have to get up and deal with because let's face it, Celtic will do business on the last day of the transfer window. It's always the same. If we do nothing the last day of the transfer window, it would be a bloody miracle. But the day after the Aberdeen game, with Martin O'Neill having a very broken sleep, and remember, he didn't cope well with it last season, he's going to have to get up and then deal with transfer business because the transfer window closes at 7 p.m. on Thursday, the 3rd of September. I know it's a strange time, but it is what it is. And then even the October games, you've still got European football. September, you've still got European football to start scheduling in there, and cup games. You've got to remember the 20th of September, we then go on to International Football Week. So there will be another break from the 20th of September right through to the 10th of October. Martin O'Neill will then say that that's the period, that's the time that they can work on tactical stuff. And then when you go into October, you've got from the 10th of October to 17th of October. It's brilliant. There's 2 games right in between my birthday. It's fantastic. Never used to get that because that used to always be International Week from the 10th of October. Motherwell away, Hearts at Celtic Park, away to Hibernian, Dundee United at home, and away to Falkirk. Add that Premier Sports Cup game, add that Champions League game, because we're hoping to be playing in the Champions League, which will mean no Sunday football. Then when you go into November, looks a bit quiet league-wise, but you've still got games to be added in for Cup and European football. December, the busy period of December. You start off on the 2nd, away to Dundee, St Johnstone at home, Hibs at home, Aberdeen away, 19th December. 26th of December at Celtic Park, Motherwell, cracking Boxing Day gig at home. And then the 30th, the Wednesday, we are away to Dundee United. And then on the 2nd of January, we are away to the New Rangers. Add to that the possibility of Champions League games, and it's going to be a busy period. So the problem that we have is Martin O'Neill is fitter than Rocco the now. Well, we'll just say. I still say that Greg Taylor being the last minute signing. Will Martin be able to fly after his surgery? That's an interesting one. I would think so. It's all just pure speculation about whether it was a heart issue. You know, the Celtic haven't confirmed anything, so I'm going to stay away from the speculation. Martin O'Neill should call in sick for the rest of the season. It's too much for him. Been on fried eggs. Martin will be champing at the bit to get back in that dugout. It's whether he's champing at the bit to get back into the dugout remains to be seen. But I mean, of course he will. But there is going to be every single game from now on. You're going to have fans and media. Fans were complaining at the first game of the season that Martin O'Neill was sitting down on his arse, that he wasn't standing and he wasn't shouting at the fans and everything. Sean Maloney confirmed that he wasn't keeping too well on Monday and Tuesday before he went into hospital. From now on, every single fan will be sitting glued to the television. Every fan behind the dugout and around the stadium will be all eyes on Martin O'Neill to see if Martin O'Neill can and looks healthy enough to continue for the full season. It's the way that the world works. You know, we can all wish him the best, but everybody's going to be looking at this old geezer and going, he shouldn't be standing there. You know? Whether you like it or not, that's what will happen. Ross Dohan gives me the fear of death. Yeah, he does that. Respectfully, pay off Martin O'Neill and get in Eddie Howe. I would not want Eddie Howe. Seriously, the clamour for Eddie Howe to come to Celtic is unbelievable. Remember, this is the man who took 6 months to turn around and say no to Celtic because he could not get his backroom staff at Celtic. He is the reason that we got Ange Postecoglou in. I think that fans forget that. Can't see Araujo being a deadline day signing. Really, James? You do know that he's out injured and he's out for a few months. Or didn't you pick that one up in the video the other day? Pressure takes its toll eventually. Yes, Pablo, it does. It takes pressure on us. We should go for Will Ferry before he buggers off to Belgium. Oh, that's up to Celtic, that one. He might not even be at the dugout Sunday. No, he'll not even be at training today. Sean Maloney says, we'll wait and see if he's at training today. And it's up to him. It's up to him. Baz, here's what we do. We pay off Martin O'Neill and contact Eddie Howe. I think the clamour for Eddie Howe is unbelievable. Honestly. I think our boys will smash Kelly for Martin this weekend. It's always a hard game at Kilmarnock and it's going to be interesting. Right, what team will start this weekend? Martin O'Neill will obviously have some. We'll obviously start Sinisalo in goals. I think the back four will be the same back four that started last weekend. So it's going to be Alistair Johnston. It's going to be Austin Trusty, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Kieran Tierney. That'll be the back four. That's the back four that's basically set up for the season, unless Alistair Johnson is sold. A lot of people think that we still need to bring in another player because Adam Montgomery isn't the best and we need a little bit. Even Sean Maloney said that we need backup in some areas. When you look at the midfield, Benji Negrin will start. I think Callum McGregor will start, as will Arnie Engels, even though he's wanting to head down south. He's wanting the deal done quicker rather than later. Celtic look as if they're now trying to hold off until they get a player in. And we'll see how that one works out next week. When you look at the forward area, I think that we will play Camilio Duran out of position once again. Will we play Duran on one side and will we start with James Forrest since it is on the grass pitch? And can Casper start banging in the goals? Now, it was interesting. Lucky Voodoo comes in with a cracking comment. Get Eddie Howe to... we could always bring Wilfred Nancy back. We should have brought him back in the summer. New grass pitch for Kelly now. Yes, it is that. No point not giving Pep the call. Nothing to lose. Coulson. I mean, everybody's now chasing Martin O'Neill out the door. And it's the same people, I'll get back to the team in a minute, it's the same people that were clamouring for Martin O'Neill to take the job on a full-time basis back at the end of the season. Giving me stick because I'm like, maybe we should look somewhere else. Let Martin go and retire. No, give Martin the job. Martin needs the job. Martin deserves the job. Quick, get Martin out the door and get someone else in. You can't make it up with Celtic fans, can you? Sinisalo, there we go. This is the first team up. Sinisalo, Alistair Johnson, Trusty, CCV, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Kieran Tierney, McGregor, Engels, the Ox. Oh, that's an interesting one. Play the Oxlade-Chamberlain in the midfield there. Does he have the physicality for a game like that? Because it'll be a kind of high-paced game away. And then Duran, Hook and Benji Negrin. Ooh, that means playing Benji Negrin on the wing, and I don't think he's a great player on the wing. He's better just coming inside. And Duran doesn't like it on the... I've not seen a cat chase its tail. Bonkers. But anyway, the shop may be jumping, but is anyone buying? Most people waste time looking while waiting on their time slot. Ooh. I don't know. I think that it's, I wouldn't know. Has to be said. How now, Brown Cow? Goodson would be a good choice as manager, as he was both Casper and Panetti's manager for years. This over this urge to get rid of Rennie, Rabsky Lenny, get rid of the manager now is bonkers. I get it where it's coming from. Fuck it, just opted for granola. I wouldn't have Lenton back before. I would have Lenton back before Howe. You mean Lenny back before Howe? Jesus, we're really getting it. If Martin O'Neill goes, then Robbie gets the call. Didn't Robbie take another job? I'm not too sure. Did Robbie Keane not take another job? Or is he still out of work? Website's down. No, he's still free. Oh, don't say that. Oh, could you imagine? It's the type of thing that Celtic would do, wouldn't it? It's got it's got connotations of Gordon Strachan written all over it, isn't it? When Martin O'Neill was going to leave Celtic, and then he stayed on the extra year, and Gordon Strachan was still out of work. Jesus. Oh, it's going. I don't want Martin O'Neill to go. I'd keep Martin O'Neill forever if I could. Just joining in the chat discussion. You'd change your mind quicker than anything. Anyway, you sent that picture to Boydie yet? That would be funny. If the board stuck with Martin, we'd have Nancy in charge now with the pre-season. Would he have waited that long? Goodson got rid of Tenecti once. There was maybe a reason for it. Anyway, don't want Goodson. He's had plenty of chances to take the job. Has he though? Has Goodson had plenty of chances to take the job? Has he ever been offered the job? I don't think that Goodson's actually been offered the job from Celtic. Anyway, I'm agreed with you, Martin. Jason, sorry, Martin's going nowhere. It's crazy chat this morning. Everybody seems to be negative this morning. I had a phone call with the text message from, and he does this every Saturday morning. It's a bit negative on a Saturday morning. I'm sure he just wakes up with a hangover and thinks that the whole world is like not going the way that he wants this project to go. And I'm like, mate, I'm starting to get these texts every Saturday from you. I'm seeing a repetition here in the negativity on a Saturday morning. Do you have too many drinks on a Friday night and you wake up with regret? Anyway, Maloney manager for next season, not a chance. Keane isn't coming. That's down to his own camp, putting his family first. Ooh, we'll wait and see on that one. Martin will be okay, says Paul Baird. I think so and hope so as well. Right, how long have we been on this morning? Because I need to get some breakfast. I am absolutely starving, as they say. Hank Marvin. Can't lie, Celtic appointed the likes of Neil Lennon or anyone we've had before, except Anne Postecoglou. I may check out for the season. Oh, yoy. I'll not say that in public, but you could say it. What formation would you say would be good going forward with what we have now? 4-4-2. When you look at the players, it does mean some players would need to change slightly. I think that we'll lose out on... I think you have to play Casper and Duran through the middle up front. You need to keep Callum Osmond as number 3 striker. Johnny Kenny may stay, he may go to Bolton. The winger situation is the big issue with me. You could play, but then again, when you play the 4-4-2, we've got too many midfielders for that, so you could lose Arne Engels, Rio Hatate, and then you've got 4 players that cover the sort of holding midfield role, and then 2 wingers. But then you're going to bring in replacements for Arne Engels. The more you look at it, if you lose Alistair Johnston, you go to a back 3 and play 3-5-2. That's more than enough for Scottish football. 3-5-2 gives you Kieran Tierney, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Trusty at the back. Liam Scales is then standing. Dane Murray standing. Colby Donovan standing. Tony Ralston's pushed away out the picture. Adam Montgomery's standing. So there's not a mad rush to replace Alistair Johnston. Having the ability to go for a 4 at the back to a 3 at the back is something Celtic need to explore big time. Either going 3-5 would make sense, because then it gives you the chance to put Benji Negrin, Callum McGregor and Oxlade Chamberlain in the midfield with 2 wingers. I think that would be the most attacking formation that you could get. We would annihilate teams. I think if we went 3-5-2, we would completely annihilate teams in the Scottish League. Because when teams sit back in their flat back 5, it means that you can actually push. You're pushing a central midfield player up. You've got your 2 attackers, and then you've got your wingers. So it's basically 5 against 5. And if a team tries to do the turnover and hit us on the break, you've got the pace of the wingers to get back. You've got the likes of Trusty's not got the greatest pace, but you have Liam Scales that's at the back. No, Trusty's actually got better pace than Liam Scales, hasn't he? But then you keep the defenders at the halfway line. There's not the need for the defenders to go up further. So I think that could work. With the personnel we've got, we're more set up for a 3-5-2. Anyway, we'll wait and see. Does the guy want to come in out of retirement? I don't think so. Bring back the 0-0-10. We are crying out for 2 strong centre midfields. But if you go 3-5-2, do you really need strong centre midfields? Because you could have the likes of Oxlade Chamberlain and Callum McGregor in that midfield, and then another 3 players around them. So I think that could change. That would be a midfield with no legs. But you're not requiring the midfielders to do great runs. The midfielders are winning the battle in the middle of the pitch. You've got 2 wingers that stay out on the wing. You've got wingers that don't come inside then. You know, you've got... And then the ball goes out to them diagonally, and then boom, in. You've got to remember, in the good old Martin O'Neill days, it was Thompson, Sutton, Larsson, goal. Football is as simple as that. We overcomplicate football in this day and age. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this morning. I will be back later on this afternoon. The games that are this weekend, might jump on it at 4:45 just to see the final scores, even though there's only 2 games on today. And other than that, I'll see you on the next video. So have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are. Pardon me, all around the world. That was a nice morning today. Good numbers as well.